Hi guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I have Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge with me, and today we are going to take a look at the AOSCP Extended Rom Android 7.1.1 Android Nougat for the Samsung Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge. So this ROM is based on AOSP, so stock Android by Google, but even though it's based on stock Android, it has got quite a lot of customizations on board and other features and other apps, and today we are going to take a look at all of these. So now let's start. So at the first place you can see that you got this Pixel Launcher by Google, so you haven't got that app drawer icon. Instead of that you just need to swipe to get to the app drawer here, and you can also see that you haven't got that many apps. So I have already installed the G app, so you won't get the Google things on board, so you won't get the Play Store, the Chrome app and all that Google stuff. The things which you get is the calculator, the camera, the one of the clock apps here, the contacts app, the file manager, which I love to hate here. You get the messaging app, the settings app, of course, phone, music, and all that standard stuff. You also get another browser here, which is called Slimperience. So this is a really different kind of browser. So let's get in there, and it also includes an ad blocker, so you won't get any ads on that browser. But the thing is that this browser is really hard to use. So on the left side you got some shortcuts for Facebook or XDA developers, for example. On the right side you get all other things which other browsers also include, but in general this browser is really hard to use compared to Chrome, for example. Also the tab option looks quite nice here, as you can see, but again it's not that easy to use. So these are almost all apps which you get on board. You also get the Magisk app, which is something like the exposed framework on older Android versions. So right, this is pretty much it. Yeah. At the first look at the home screen, you can also see that you got this Android Nougat wallpaper on board, but you get also other wallpapers here. So for example, these wallpapers here. So this ROM comes with other wallpapers. So this is probably one of the less ROMs which has third-party wallpapers on board. And right, now let's take a look at all of the features of this ROM now. So if you go into the settings here, you can see that you got this Pixel style settings app. It also has the fingerprint reader available, so let's set up our fingerprint quickly. And as you can see, it works just fine. So now we are done. At the first place you need to set up your pattern here, but after that you can directly use your fingerprint. And as you can see, this ROM hasn't got any issues with the fingerprint reader. Now let's take a look at all of the UI customizations. So for that we can go to the extensions option here, and you can see that you got quite a lot of options here, just like in Resurrection Remix or other ROMs. So you can customize the status bar here, the status bar icons. You can change the clock style. You can enable a carrier label at the status bar and all that standard stuff which you also get on other ROMs. You can customize the quick settings here. You can, for example, change the columns of the quick settings here, so you can enable 5 if you want to. So you can see now you got 5 columns. You can enable less rows here, for example 2 only, or even 1 only here. Then you can swipe here. And right, so you can also enable or disable the multi-user switch here. So now it's disabled and now it's enabled. So you get all that standard stuff. You can also enable the custom header image, just like in Resurrection Remix here. So now you can see you got this custom image header there. Now let's get back here, and right, so you can also enable the navigation bar here, which is looking quite similar to the Pixel one. You can make it bigger or smaller, all that standard stuff. You can enable the memory bar on the recent apps panel here, for example. You can enable or disable a clear all button at the bottom here. And right, you can customize the lock screen, and you also have these general tweaks, just like the toast icon, if you get a toast notification that the icon is shown up or not. And right, you can also select your screenshot type, so you can enable the normal screenshot type here, or you can also enable that the phone only takes the area which you have selected. So if you go to the screenshot option here, you can just move your finger to take a screenshot of the area you want to have. And yeah, so this is pretty much it here. You also get the blur options here, so you can enable blur at the status bar background, as you can see here, which looks really nice. You can also change the colors of it here. For example, you can make it green, and now you can see that the background is blurred out in the green color. And right, you can do the same with the recent apps panel here, as you can see, also looks quite nice. And yeah, so this is pretty much it, and the customizations options. Another nice thing on this ROM is that it comes with the Google Assistant. So if you press the home button for about maybe 2 seconds here, you can see that you got this Google Assistant here. If you say continue, you can directly use your you use the Google Assistant here, which is really nice. Now we can set up our Google Assistant. So let's take a look at the RAM management of this ROM here. So let's get into the settings here and go to memory here. You can see that this ROM uses like 1.6 gigabytes of the whole RAM, which is quite okay. It is even better than some TouchWiz based ROMs because it does not use even the half of the whole RAM. So it uses less of the whole RAM of the Samsung Galaxy S7, which is really amazing for a TouchWiz based ROM. And yeah, because of that, this ROM also does not use that much battery. Okay, it uses more battery than TouchWiz based ROMs, but it's still okay to get about 1 day with about 5 hours of screen on time, maybe 6 hours of screen on time if you don't play high graphic games on your phone. Right, so me personally, I get sometimes even more than 6 hours of screen on time, but this is because I don't play games with my phone. So now let's take a look at the camera here. So here I have my math homework, and let's try to take a picture of this one here. So yeah, and as you can see, the font is not really readable. So you can read it, but it's actually hard to read it. So the camera is not the best camera on this ROM, so you won't get the best camera experience, although it's still okay to take a picture of your homework or something like that. But if you want to get a good camera experience, you should better go for a TouchWiz based ROM. And yeah, so this is pretty much it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give it a dislike, and peace out. Hi guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I have Samsung Galaxy S7. Hi guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I have Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge with me, and today we are going to take a look. Lan.